We're back, and your tributes, personal tributes, are welcome via our social media handles. I will share them as we go on this program, on X Spaces, on YouTube, on Facebook, and of course on myjoyline.com. Remember that government has announced 3 days of mourning for the 8 individuals that perished in the helicopter crash. And the program started just an hour ago at the Jubilee House. A wreath-laying ceremony was held in honor of the 8 lives lost, including 2 cabinet ministers, following the tragic helicopter crash in the Ashanti region. Now, 3 days of national mourning are underway across the country as the nation comes to terms with the devastating crash that claimed the lives of Defense Minister Omane Boamah, Environment, Science and Technology Minister Alhaji Dr. Murtala Mohammed, and 6 others. The tragic incident, which occurred in the Ashanti region, has left the entire nation in shock and mourning. And I will take you live to the Jubilee House shortly. But before that, let me take you around the capital. A lot of activities happening. High-ranking officials and statesmen visiting homes of the departed souls in the accident yesterday. My colleague, Jacqueline Ansuma has been following the convoy, and she joins me from one of the locations. So, Jacqueline, where are you and what is happening there?
To you. Currently, I'm at Honorable Murtala's residence. I've been here since 11 a.m., but earlier I was around Dr. Omane Boamah's residence, and during that time, we saw a team, that's the majority side, led by Haruna Idrisu, move over to Dr. Omane Boamah's residence. Right after, they came back here to Honorable Murtala's residence, the whole team from the majority side, to pay their respects to the family. But currently, as I'm speaking to you, we have the chief imam here. He shared prayer with family and friends gathered here, but he's currently inside as I'm speaking to you right now. But then I have Baba Sadiq with me here. He is also, he came here earlier to, you've already spoken to the family, I believe.
Yes, I mean, I've engaged with some of the family members, and then as it is, we start to help the family receive some of the guests that I can, particularly when the chief imam is coming, how to stay behind to ensure that we welcome him.
All right. Yeah. Now, can you share with us some of your fondest memories of Honorable Murtala?
Well, Honorable Murtala is a true comrade. Beyond that, I mean, I've also known him for, and as it's evident on social media, his deep Islamic faith. And to all of us who are his friends and acquaintances, he's been an unwavering pillar of support to all of us. And particularly for me, I shared a video where he had come to my constituency to help us campaign and engage. You know, every now and then when we meet with him, his pieces of advice. You know, about 2 months ago, I met him in his ministry, where he had given me some piece of advice, you know, trying to enhance whatever faith we have in the system currently, you know. So Murtala is who you call a true friend, you know, and very open-minded, very knowledgeable, well-read, well-exposed, you know, and every time spent with him leaves you with a lot of insight and experience. Sure. You know, yeah.
Yeah, have you also been to Dr. Omane Boamah's residence?
Not yet. Right from here, I would go to the house of Honorable Omane Boamah. But even for him, Omane is what we call as Omane is accessible. You know, in the heady days of our campaign, elections, and everything, call him at any point in time, send him a message, and you get a desired response. You know, and as an elder or as a senior in politics, his life, his story, and the experiences he shares with us will continue to live with us. You know, all the deceased, the 8 demise comrades. I mean, I've known a lot of them. I mean, Samuel, for instance, Abuaje, in the last few months, I engaged regularly with him. You will know that he's one of the...
Sure. All right. Yeah. I think we just heard that the chief imam is coming outside, Elton, so that is what you can see in the view right now. We'll continue with that conversation, but then that's the chief imam in short. He's leaving. As I said earlier, he's already had prayers with the family. It was a very solemn moment right here. So that's the chief imam right there. He came with other imams too, who were also part of the entourage here at the Honorable Mutale's residence. So Baba Sadi, real quick, I mean, we're back. I wanted to acknowledge the chief imam moving into his vehicle there. But then, what are your last words?
Well, I mean, all of us are distraught. It's difficult to actually think of any last words for the tragedy that has befallen us as a country, as a party, as politicians. This is a very difficult moment for me. My condolences and my heart with the family of all the 8 individuals we've lost. I don't know. It's difficult, really difficult. Almost seems like a dream to all of us. You know, I woke up this morning trying to convince myself that this is all but a dream, but I'm having to live it now. Very difficult, but my condolences, and I wish, I don't know. I mean, it's quite difficult.
Thank you very much, Elton. So that has been the mood here throughout. There's a video where we have on social media where the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Anyene, was seen crying when we were speaking to him. He couldn't even contain his words earlier. But then most of the dignitaries passing through this very residence, that has been the emotions, is that filled with sadness and all that. But we still see more dignitaries. Once the next team leaves, there's another delegation that comes through here at Honorable Mutale's residence. Back to you in the studio, Elton.
Right, so Jackie, earlier the team visited the home of the late Dr. Edward Omanebuama.
Elton, yes. So earlier, not all the team. So we were there earlier before we moved to Honorable Mutale's residence. When we got here, we saw the majority side of Parliament. They were already here. But then before we left, we already saw Haruna Idrisu and just a few of them. So he joined the whole team here. Then after visiting Honorable Mutale's residence, they moved back to Honorable Omanebuama's residence, which is roughly around the same neighborhood. So commuting to that place isn't too far away from here.
Jackie, thank you so much for that update. And of course, we'll touch base with you when another delegation is there to visit. And that's been the routine since news broke yesterday. Government officials, remember yesterday when news broke, the Vice President led a government delegation that first visited the home of late Dr. Edward Omanebuama, and then to the Deputy National Security Coordinator, Alhaji Miniru, Dr. Murtala Mohammed. A team also went to Koforidua, the family home of the late Dr. Edward Omanebuama. Now, today, there's been a lot of activities also in the capital and across the country, especially in the regions that some of these individuals hailed from, Western, the Ashanti region. Government, a statement that came from the Government Minister for Communication, if you like. Government has suspended all official activities for the rest of the week following the tragic military helicopter crash that claimed 8 lives. Now, plans to bury the Muslim victims today also got suspended pending full identification, which we are told is currently ongoing. Meanwhile, tributes continue to pour in from across the country and beyond. There is more in the following report.
The responsible cooperative mining and skills development program has been launched.
Wednesday morning in Obuasi, and government is preparing to launch a major initiative against illegal mining, the Responsible Cooperative Mining and Skill Development Program. At the same time, a Ghana Armed Forces Z9 helicopter carrying top officials is en route to Obuasi. But just minutes away from the destination, the aircraft vanishes from radar. Hours later, it's confirmed the aircraft crashed in a dense forest near Sikaman in Adansi Ikrofrom. All 8 on board died. Victims are Dr. Edward Omanebuama, Minister for Defence, Dr. Ibrahim Muntala Mohammed, Minister for Environment, Deputy National Security Coordinator, Alhaji Munir Mohammed, NDC Vice Chair, Dr. Samuel Sapon, former parliamentary candidate, Samuel Abuaji, Pilot, Squadron Leader Peter Anala, Co-Pilot, Flying Officer Ampedu, and Flight Engineer Sergeant Ernest Edumensang. President Mahama has ordered all national flags to fly at half-mast.
All flags are to fly at half-mast until further notice.
A 3-day national mourning starts Thursday with all government activities suspended. Vice President Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman and Education Minister Haruna Iddrisu led a delegation to break the news to the families.
On behalf of President Mahama, to convey to you the tragedy that has befell the country this morning. It's not an easy task.
Search team trekked over 2 hours through rugged forest to search the site. The bodies were charged.
I just saw some sacks pass by. Can you confirm to us these are the bodies or the charred remains of the 8 persons that you retrieved from the site?
Yes, indeed, I can confirm to you that what you saw a while ago in those sacks are the remains of senior officers that were involved in the crash this morning.
Now more tests must be done to identify the bodies.
We are taking them to the morgue for possibly a decision by the superior or decision makers. Ours is to evacuate the bodies from here to the morgue or probably the hospital where probably a postmortem and other examinations can be done to identify.
Contrary to Islamic custom, which requires same-day burial, the Northern Regional Minister Ali Adof says the remains of the Muslim victims will not be buried on Thursday. A new date will be communicated after identification is completed. Tributes are pouring in across the country. AU chairperson in a statement said, quote, "The AU stands in full solidarity with Ghana," end quote. German embassy said, quote, "We mourn 2 ministers we worked with trustfully," end quote. UN resident coordinator wrote, quote, "A national wound felt internationally," end quote. Canada, Nigeria, former President Nana Akufo-Addo and Bawumia all extending condolences and calling for healing. Parliament Minority Caucus says the nation deserves answers and is calling for full, transparent investigation. A GAF crash team is now retrieving the black box, a critical evidence to uncover what went wrong. Lives lost in service. A nation is mourning. A mission to ensure this never happens again.
Right, so, we're still in this very somber mood because of the tragedy, and the activities marking the 3-day of national mourning started this morning. Now, President Mahama was seen for the first time after that unfortunate news yesterday, and he couldn't hold his tears during a brief ceremony at the Jubilee House to lay flowers and wreath in memory of the 8 departed souls. Let me take you live to the Jubilee House and bring you highlights of the event that took place about an hour ago.
Fitting tribute to the memory of Dr. Omanebuama, of Murtala Mohammed, of Samuel Sapon, of Alhaji Lumuna and the rest of them, would be to nip Galamsey in the bud, so that next year, when we gather again to pay respects and to remember them, we would tell ourselves that indeed they didn't die in vain. It's unfortunate that we seem to be grappling with the issue of Galamsey that is claiming lives. It's become a national security threat, and the sooner we dealt with it ruthlessly, the better for the country.
What are your fondest memories of those we've lost?
Well, they're all jolly good guys, to tell you the truth. I remember vividly, I exchanged messages with Omane Boamah just last Sunday, and Murtala Ibrahim, on the 21st of last month, and Limuna on my birthday when he sent me a message wishing me, best wishes. They are all men with integrity, jolly, they love their country. Murtala is exceedingly patriotic, I can tell you that for a fact. He's a man who loves Africa to bits, and so is Omane and the rest of them. And I've had occasion to travel on military helicopter when we were in government between 2012 and 2016 on a couple of occasions with Murtala. It kept ringing in my head. Yesterday I couldn't, sleep, and I can only imagine what the immediate family is going through. The loss of a loved one, the loss of a son, the loss of a father. It's most sad, and the lives lost are irreplaceable, but there's a lot that we can do to make sure that their death would not be in vain.
Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So you just had there Ras Mubarak, former Kumbungu member of Parliament, speaking to us there. Let's try and speak to more people. We've seen the Attorney General. Let's try and speak to him, Dominic Ayine. Just like many others, they want to grieve in silence. He is not willing to speak. Let's see if we can get some persons who will gather some strength and be able, to speak to us. Obiobia Daku, I've seen here. Let's try and see if. Hello, Obiobia. My condolences. Are you able to gather some strength to speak to us? No. I know you had a personal relationship with Dr. Omane Boamah. No. Yeah. It's a very emotional moment, I'm here for a lot of the people gathered. Difficult moment for many. Just a few are able to gather the strength and the courage to open their mouth to speak. For those who are able to do that, they tell you that the people we've lost are the defense minister and the environment minister. They describe them as compassionate people, hardworking. I see more people arriving here. I see Bernard Mona arriving here. Let's try and see if we can speak to Bernard. Bernard, you're welcome to join us.
Thank you.
How did you hear the news?
Well, it was social media that confused me yesterday. I called the Minister for Defense at exactly 6:45 a.m. because we were scheduled to have a meeting. When my national chairman had indicated to me that he has been to his office and the man wanted to have a meeting. So the meeting was scheduled to happen yesterday, and he could not respond. Later, I would hear news that helicopter crash. Then I said, this man messaged that he was going to represent the president somewhere. Could he be in the helicopter? But I took it that it's not possible. Only to wake up to reality that indeed it happened, that he was in the helicopter alongside my good friend and brother Murtala. I was so disrupted that I forgot myself. I have worked with them both when we were student leaders. I contested Omane alongside John Kuma and NS for local national NUCS presidency, and Omane won. Being the person that he is, he rallied all the other contestants and made us to support his leadership of the student movement. And everybody can attest that his regime as student leader served well because he did not throw away the people that he contested with. So I was instrumental, John Kuma was instrumental, NS, and we all contributed to making him and his office succeed. In the CJA that I was a founding member, we will later draft Omane Boamah to come and join, and Murtala Mohammed also to join. So we worked together in the Committee for Joint Action. We manifested a number of public manifestations in this country. We have been bosom friends. I have worked with them, as I said, and these two gentlemen, virtually of my age, I can say that they died without being corrupt. That they died and they would not have taken any dime from anybody for their good, rather than for the good of humanity. I can attest to their level of commitment to our nation. So for me, if there are human saints, I will name Omane Boama and Murtala, that in the field of public service, they can be adjudged as some of the saints that we have had. And it's heartbreaking. So yesterday I spoke to my party. As you can see, we are all here. The National Youth Organizer is here, my running mate, the National Women's Organizer, Deputy, the National Organizer, and then the National Chairman. We are all here. Everybody is distraught. I don't know. I think John Mama did not lose appointees. He lost trusted and worthy compatriots.
You talk about your days in students' leadership. Many we've been speaking to talk about how they exuded selflessness. They were committed to the cause. A lot of these ingredients, these persons we've been speaking to say it's missing from our student politics and even sometimes in the national, politics. What lessons, do you think we can pick from?
What I can just say to most of us as Ghanaians is that, look, dedicate yourself to the good of society. Because Omane Boama had difficult beginnings. I do know Murtala had difficult beginnings, just as some ones of us who had very terrible beginnings. And so, because of our background of austerity in growth, we thought that serving public interests is the way to go. I know Murtala when he later became NUC's president. He became the president of the Secretary General of the All African Students Union, had engagement with President Brother Muhammad Gaddafi, Robert Mugabe, and most of the distinguished African leaders. Murtala Mohammed had that affinity with them. And All African Students Union became the baby of President Gaddafi, for instance. That a lot of resources were channeled from Libya to support the All African Students Union. Every time you see Murtala channeling those resources for the betterment of the students' front rather than for his personal effort. And see, my son, where is Maliri? Murtala was scheduled to meet my son today 9:30 a.m. for a presentation that they have on plastic waste and also on STEM education. So they had prepared to come and meet, because Tuesday he was supposed to meet them last week and they didn't come on. They were ready to meet him and they didn't. And I have said at many platforms, possibly if Omane had picked my call yesterday, given our connection, he would have requested that I join him in the flight so that we can have a conversation. When he's done, then we can talk and come back. And God decided that he should go. So in terms of integrity, service to nation, they have distinguished themselves. It's left for those who will succeed them to tell the world that the offices that they are going to occupy, these offices were occupied by distinguished personalities. Murtala is a distinguished son. His only thing that I keep telling him is that he was too religious. He believed in his Quran. He believed in his Islamic faith. Well, I am not religious, but for people to believe in what they believe, I support them. And Omane Boama was an avowed Christian, a Catholic for that matter, who will do everything. Anytime we met, he said, bro, let's pray. You will not know that he's a medical doctor. Murtala will see me and said, I need deliverance. How did God decide to choose them? How? What is it that we are supposed to learn?
Thank you very much, Bernard Mona. We just heard Bernard Mona speaking, to us. more people, steady stream of mourners are arriving here at the ceremonial gardens of the Jubilee House to take part in the ceremony that has just started here. I have here with me the Minister of Youth Development, George Opariado. He's here with us. George, can you tell us how you heard this news?
A friend called me around 11:30ish to say, where am I? And I said, I was heading to the Jubilee House, or I call it the Flagstaff House. He said, have I heard? And I said, what? And he said, Omani, be true. I was like, what is true? Then he said, there is a helicopter crash. And I said, no, I knew they left this morning because I was supposed to have gone yesterday, but I didn't go. So, and I said, but I've not heard anything. So I quickly started making phone calls. So I called my regional organizer for Ashanti region and asked where he was. Said he's heading to the site. Then I knew something was not right. And so later on, we got a confirmation of what has happened. And it's a difficult time. It's difficult putting yourself together because it could have been any of us on that aircraft. And it's just unfortunate that this has happened. For me, I have worked closely with almost all 5 of them. Sapo and I were all appointed in 2009 together when he was made mayor of Ashanti, Kumasi was made the MC for Krapim North, and so we're all MMDCs on the same platform. He became national vice chairman. I was national organizer, so he came to join me as national vice chairman. And so for the last 16 or 17 years, Sapo and I have worked. Omani and I brought a party from opposition in 2008. We were at the forefront of that electioneering campaign as a parliamentary candidate then. But because we all came from the same region, we shared a lot in common. 2016 we lost, we all went home. In 2022, he was made part of the national executive, he became director of elections. I was still national youth organizer. A lot of the things I did at the youth front, a lot of the programs we did, Omani had a hand in it. In terms of ideas, funding, do this, let's do that. Omani was ever present. And then we all got appointed at the same time to serve in His Excellency President Mohammed's government as ministers. And he's one of those ministers who has a lot of ideas to share. And he's always willing to work with anybody. Then you talk about Abuaje is like a brother. Even Tuesday night, Abuaje and I had a conversation on how he was lobbying me for a job for some of his constituents. Mutala is a former student leader. Mutala and I, because of his workings within the Youth Employment Agency, ever since I became Minister for Youth Development, I have depended more on his knowledge and his know-how within that space. And so you can understand. Nobody goes to campaign in Savannah or in the north and not come across Alhaji Lamuna, former Minister for Agric. He's one person who is always available to support and render you any services you require of you. And this people, the states have lost. It's a great loss to Ghana, it's a great loss to the National Democratic Congress. These are some of our finest brains that we've lost, and it leaves much to be desired.
Yeah. And I know you interfaced a lot with Dr. Omane Boamah. You're both ministers. And then he's also the director of IT and elections, for the NDC. For those who do not understand the enormity of the situation and the assets that the NDC has lost, can you tell them?
If you are looking for a more diligent person, I call him thinker. That's how I call him. For every situation, Omane has a solution. And his calm demeanor, he doesn't rush in doing anything. He takes his time, he thinks through it, he processes it, and then he comes with solutions. And Omane supports everything progressive. Once it is something that will inure to the greater good, you will see Omane Boamah all over it. I remember when we wanted to roll out a project during the elections called the Alpha Project. And when I brought it to FEC, and I had briefed him previously, his only comment at FEC was that this is not an Operado project. This is what will take NDC to the Flagstaff House. So we should all get on board. Even though the national chairman, the general secretary, rallied around it, Omane was one of the key people who fully supported to see to it that it became that program that we wanted to run with into the elections. Omane is an amazing gentleman. He's an extraordinary gentleman. and his kind is rare. Same can be said about Murtala. Frank, straightforward, he says it as it is. And if you are looking for one you can trust and depend on, is Murtala Mohammed. All these men are gone and fallen. It's just unfortunate. Ghana have lost such assets. Thank you.
Thanks for talking to us. So we just heard George Opariado speaking to us, Minister George Opariado, sharing fond memories. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, he interfered. We worked together. Ministers, they worked as executives. He worked as an executive. He continues to work as an executive for the NDC. And Dr. Omane, also Director of Elections in IT for the NDC. He says the NDC has lost a huge asset. We have here with us political scientist and Ghana Shippers Council boss, Professor Ransford Jampo. Prof, you're welcome to join us.
Thank you.
How did you hear the news?
I think I had it on social media. Yeah. Read it on social media, and I still don't believe. I've said that until I see these guys well dressed in their caskets, and I see their well-membered mortal remains in their caskets, I still want to believe that maybe they dropped off somewhere in the forests, and probably we have to go look for them, because I spoke to Omane Boama 3 days today on phone. Last week there was a program here at the Flagstaff House giving orientation to newly appointed CEOs, and he came to speak to us. Afterwards, I had an engagement with him, because there were some of the things that he said there that I thought didn't apply to me, so I went to engage him. And beyond that, I've had a long-standing relationship with him. He's a personal medical doctor to one of my children that I thought was going to die. The boy is 18 years old now, but 6 months after his birth, he was always sick. One day I was just invigilating exam in the university. I was called that he's been rushed to the hospital, and so I had to stop and rush to 37 here. I came. I met Dr. Omane Boama, who was a medical doctor taking care of the boy. And he assured me that so long as God lives and so long as he remains a professional medical doctor, the boy will live. And so every year when the boy is celebrating his birthday, I'll take a picture, send to him, telling him that this is your son. So this year, June, I sent him a picture, and we will be laughing about it. He will be telling me that the boy has a brighter future. So I have a personal relationship. He was one of the reasons why I accepted the offer to serve in this government. Anytime there's a program, he will call me. Look, there's a program, make sure you attend. And when you go, make sure the old man sees you. I said, but I don't like that. I mean, a lot of people would want to go greet the then candidate Mahama after the program, and I usually would want to say, no, make sure he sees you. And he keeps talking to me about some of these things. He kept talking to me about some of these things and all that. It's a great strategist, very smart, very intelligent, very resilient, strong-willed person. And above all, he's a human being, Oyonipa. So I'm very much pained. We assisted and supervised the PhD dissertation of Murtala. I was one of his supervisors. I later became the lead supervisor of his dissertation. And he completed last year, graduated last year, producing one of the best dissertations, PhD dissertations in the political science department. A very kind-hearted person. Samuel Sampong always called and texted that we need to meet. There is a discussion I want to have with you, but it's for the future. Kept telling me there's something he wants to discuss with me for the future. But both of us never made the time. And yesterday I heard he was also part of it. So the 3 people that I know amongst the 8. And I'm very much pained. I've not been able to sleep the whole of last night. And we're told that this event is being held, so we had to bring our flowers to also come and show our love. But I still am living in a state of denial, hoping that until I see them dead in their casket, it's difficult for me to believe. And I'm thinking that maybe we have to go into the forest again, hoping that we'll find them hidden somewhere. Maybe they missed their way, they are lost. We'll be able to bring them back. It's very painful.
Finally, before we leave you, what lessons do you think can we pick from the lives that the life that they lived whilst here with us? You're a lecturer at the University of Ghana, also a political scientist. You have had opportunity to observe Ghana's political scene, seeing all the rights, seeing all the wrongs. What lessons do you think can we pick from their lives?
Well, they died in action. They died serving the nation. This is the second time we are having to lose some important personalities just because of illegal mining. Recall, my former student, Major Maxwell Mahama, lost his life, and it was because of illegal mining. And these guys were also going to hold an event that ultimately was supposed to also help in halting illegal mining. And I think that if their lives have truly been sacrificed, all as part of the fight against illegal mining, then there should be a renewed zeal in ensuring that the existential threat posed by illegal mining is dealt with forcefully and more proactively. And I know that a lot is being done by this administration to halt it. But the problem still persists. And I am hoping that given what has happened, we would all come together as a people to confront the existential threat of illegal mining.
Thank you very much for talking to us. You just heard there Professor Rasford Jampo. He's a lecturer, political science lecturer at the University of Ghana, and also a government appointee, sharing fond memories about the 8 people who died. He had a personal relationship with 3 of them. And we continue to applaud those who have mastered the courage, who have gathered some strength to be able to speak to us in the midst of all of these, because not many are able to speak to us. Earlier, I saw Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, Dominic Ayene. He just waved. He said he couldn't speak to us. And that was totally understandable. Earlier also, you saw me trying to speak to Obobi Adako, who until recently was the was a deputy at the Ghana Airport Company Limited. She couldn't speak to us. In fact, when she walked away from our cameras, she broke down in tears. Yeah. Let's speak to Samson Awingobit, Importers and Exporters Association president of that association. Samson, you're welcome to join us.
Thank you very much, my brother, and my condolences to all of us.
All of us. It's a nation in mourning. We are all mourning.
A big blow to us. Yeah. My brother, yesterday was Importers and Exporters Association was 11 years, and we're celebrating it at Exim Bank. In the process of the program, as soon as we say amen, this news hit us. Professor Jambo that you guys spoke to was chairing my program, was in my program, there was a guest speaker. Then this news hit us. I know Honorable Omane Boama far and near. The far is when he used to be the communication minister. The near is 2024 election when he was appointed as the IT head of the NDC and led the team to IPAC. And I also led my party. You know, I'm a PSC national chairman as well. So at IPAC, that was where we pushed that the EC database for 2024 election was not credible. And so it needed more interrogation. To the extent that Omane Boama pushed for his party to come out and demonstrate it and petition. And EC, Electoral Commission, said, okay, they will open up for all of us to look at the data. Their first meeting at Aliza Hotel, I saw how passionate, how he pointed loopholes with his team, Dr. Tanko, Yaira Koku, and others. So at the point they come with Madi, the guy, very due diligent guy, I'm talking about Dr. Omane Boama, the former Minister of Defense, very resilient, very intelligent. He knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. One of the famous things he said at IPAC said that if your room is leaking, you remember that statement that he said the people were saying, why does it? And he was able to use that to solve the issue, and that gave us clean and free and fair election. That the result, the verdict came, and nobody can contest it. That gave power to his government. And when he was appointed, nominated by the president, as is it the first three? He was among the first three or first four, first three ministers by President Mahama, and he was going to defense. I was so happy that this gentleman was coming to transform the military. And indeed, his few days, everyone can testify. Honorable Mutala, when he used to be the Deputy Minister of Trade, remember Jomama one, as importers, as business leader, we work together. When you see me at the airport, oh, these Chobo people, these Guta people would work. Honorable Laminu Alaji was also a regional minister in my region, Upper East region. I'm coming from the Upper East. Sapong, regional minister of the Central region. And the young man, and then the military. In fact, I'm told that in the military officers who were flying, who were in the helicopter, the young man just got married a week or 2 weeks ago, and they caught him and leave this young lady when they were supposed to enjoy life, start life, begin life. I'm told that the senior officer, squadron leader, his wife just passed away a month ago. That his wife passed away when he was to give birth. Out of that, she died and left just a 1-month-old baby to this squadron leader. And I'm sure this child, future would have been the father to work and take care of him or her. Just to be told, I don't know how that child will know who is his father. So sad. I want to stand on this medium to appeal to all of us as Ghanaians, not just John Mahama government, but after John Mahama government, any government that comes, these children, some of them, I'm talking Mutala children are small. And of course, what do you call it? Our defense minister children too. Some of them are small. The minor, who gets, the father gets died and left, the mother died and left him or her, and the father also died. Just 1-month-old baby. The state should take care of this child. Because the father would have been there to take care of the child to university level, see the child become a responsible citizen. It's so unfortunate that life cut short. Above all, let me call on all of us that let us together fight Galamsey. It's a national issue, and they were going to solve that matter. It was about Galamsey. Let's ask ourselves,
I saw some videos going round. I don't know if you saw that video where the helicopter gets hit. That tree cannot cause this mayhem. Can we say was the plane? Was the helicopter so low?
I think we are told that that video is AI generated. That's
and not the reality.
Yeah, not.
If it's a reality, I'm happy that you are saying it's an AI. But what is the evidence? What is the evidence? Because people also say that eyewitness also accounted that they saw the plane trying to land by force and take off again. Then before they heard a poof, the sound came. Okay. What actually happened? But whatever be the case, they were going for national issues, and this untimely death hit them. I want to call that we should all collectively support the government to give them befitted burial, and also stood together to fight Galamsey. Galamsey should end, giving legacy to these past heroes that have just befallen.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you.
We just finished with him.
You want to talk to him?
We spoke already. So we just heard from Samson Awingobit. He's the president of the Ghana Importers and Exporters Association. I'm trying to get Gilbert Agri. Let's get Gilbert up again. We're live on Joy News. Deputy CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority. Let's speak to him. Mr. Agri, welcome to Joy News.
Thank you.
How did you hear the news?
I mean, through social media. We were in a staff debate meeting when I saw the news trickling in on social media. I didn't want to believe it because this day and age, people can post stuff. Until I saw the chief of staff addressing the press and announcing that the tragedy or the accident is true.
Did you have the opportunity to interact with any of the people we've lost?
All of them.
All of them? 8 of them?
Not the military officers, but the government appointees, all of them. Honorable Omane Boama is my mate. We both grew up from Kofredua. We all completed 6 from the same year. He was in Pojosa, I was in Ghana's. But beyond that, we were very close. I know his mother. His mother is my mother's friend. We all grew up together. And his father was the Central Regional Birth and Death Officer. Yeah. So when I was in Cape Coast during my O-level, when I ran out of money, I go to his father. So Kofi and I, we are brothers. I mean, before politics, before we entered the university. So, I mean, whenever I see him, Kofi, then so Abiku, then we talk, we chat, So the memories of our, childhood, beginning. I remember when he was a mass server of Reverend Father Gabriel Pamabako at the St. George's Parish Cathedral in Kofredua in the 80s. He was a mass server. Yeah, and I'm a Methodist, so we know ourselves. We all come from Kofredua. We grew up together. Like I said, his mother is my friend. She worked at the ministry, I think land valuation. So I know him very well before he even came to politics. So I was traumatized. In fact, I couldn't wrap my head around that. What happened? How did it happen? Has he survived? Has he been injured? I was just thinking about possibility that he has escaped and he's hurt. Until the confirmation, I still can't believe it.
Yeah. We're in the middle of a storm. A wrong time to start asking what you think would be the biggest tribute that the Ghana Tourism Authority can give to these 8 compatriots that we've lost. But I'm sure certainly discussions have started coming up. What do you think is the biggest legacy that we can, or tribute we can give to them?
I think the tribute will come from the life that they lived, the service that they gave to humanity, mankind. If you take, Dr. Omane Boama, Honorable Mutala, my brother, he calls me brother. I met him through His Excellency John Mahama when he was an MP, in 2007. I met him in his house. So we have grown together as brothers, comrades. And Dr. Samuel Sapon is also a very good friend of mine. We traveled together to Brazil, Colombia. So we have a catchphrase. When he sees me, he called me Bogota. I say Bogota. And Abuaji too, I met him. Recently he made donation to the chief imam, and he sent it to me, and I commended him. So their tribute, the tribute we'll give to them is the memory of the good that they did to the public, the society. And I think already tributes have started pouring in, trickling in, and we are mourning. So I'll plead with the general public that there's no time for politics. So let's pause on politics and reflect and ask yourself and put yourself in their shoes. If it had happened to you, I mean, just think about it. Just imagine if you were the victim, okay? Even if you don't know them, just imagine if their relatives, what they are going through. I mean, our mental health is important. So there's a moment we need to, soberly reflect on our lives and what, our lives, because we are nothing. We are nothing. I mean, we are nothing. We are just nothing.
Okay. What is a big thank you to you for speaking to us?
Thank you.
Okay, great. You just heard Gilbert Agre. They're popularly known as Abeku Santana, Deputy Ghana Tourism Authority boss, talking about the best tribute that we can pay to the 8 people whom we've lost. And he also talked about their legacies. The legacies cutting across and permeating every sphere, of life. Now, one will let you know that we are not in normal times. There's another ceremony taking place at the other side. We'll be going there, shortly. But just to give you an idea of the enormity, of the tragedy that has befallen this country. I've been reporting from the presidency for the past 7 months, and we've never gone through these gates, before. As part of protocol, we've never gone through this main gate before. This gate, we've never gone through this main gate, before. I'll continue with that story, but we have the CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority here with us. Let's speak to her. Madam, you're welcome to join us.
Thank you very much.
How did you hear this news?
I was actually having a staff Durbar. Then just before the Durbar ended, one of my assistants prompted me that something is going on social media. So I said, "Are you sure? Can you verify it?" He verified, and it was true. Honestly, the meeting ended abruptly. We were also devastated. I couldn't believe it. So I just started going through social media, just to believe it. I still can't believe it. The last time I spoke to His Excellency or Honorable Omane Boama, I call him my brother because I sit on FEC with him, so I'm a FEC member. And that was just after his vetting. He gave me an assignment to do, and after completing the assignment, I spoke to him on phone and told him that I've completed the assignment. Then he said, "Okay, I have another assignment for you," and I said, "Not a problem, I'll do it as well." And that's it. That was the last time I spoke to him. This is about a month ago, So for me, it's devastating. It's horrifying. It's unbelievable. I mean, they are all good men. All of them lined up there are good men. They are not villains, They are all good men. So it's a big loss for Mother Ghana. It's a big loss for Mother Ghana. It's a big loss for the NDC party, and of course, I'm sympathetic towards his family. I mean, and I understand he's an only child, so I'm wondering how the family is holding up. I'm wondering what is happening to his mother right now. I'm wondering what is happening to his children and wife. I can't comprehend it, and it's unimaginable. It's just devastating. I pray to the Almighty Lord to keep them safe in His bosom.
Finally, before you go, what lessons do you think can the political class, pick from? What lessons can they pick from the life that they lived? And indeed, for all Ghanaians, what lessons can we draw from their lives?
This is an accident, it's an accident. But first of all, I'll say that whether you're a politician or whether you are an everyday person, we should always pray for mercy. We should always pray for mercy. For me, God first. We should always pray for mercy. You never know whether tomorrow belongs to you. You never know whether you'll see the following day. So for me, we should be a little more spiritual. And also, I would like to tell all the young people out there that the whole nation, empathize with him because of the good work he did. He was committed, he was honest, he was, he responded to duty, he was proactive, he was, his integrity is held so high, and I believe that every young politician should emulate these people. He was affable as well, especially Honorable Murtala as well. He was just extremely friendly, and he kept talking about integrity. So for me, all the young people out there who are empathizing with us, who feel sorry for us, should ponder on his life, should ponder on his character, should ponder on the person that he is, what he showed us, in public life and even in his private life. I believe that if we live good lives, we live good examples, no matter what stage we are in life, no matter what happens to us, the whole world will come round to support us. So it's very important to, hold yourself up and show good character no matter what it is.
Thanks so much for gathering some strength to speak to us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
From the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Tourism Authority there. I was telling you a story earlier that we've been reporting from here, from the presidency for the past 7 months, and we've never gone through these gates. For the past 7 months that we've been reporting from here as part of protocol, the public cannot use this gate. Rarely would you see this gate, being opened. I'm saying this because I just want you to know the unusual times that we find ourselves. And of course, one of the signs is the flags there, flying at half-mast. And this is happening across the country. And that was part of the speech that was read by the Chief of Staff, that all flags across the country should fly at half-mast. And here at the presidency, all the flags here are flying at half-mast. Atop the Jubilee House itself, the main flag atop the structure, the structure itself also, the flag there is flying, at half-mast. For many of the security personnel who have been speaking to here, who have interfaced with the Defense Minister, the Environment Minister, and all the others, who died in this horrific, tragic crash, they speak about, the life that they lived. They spoke about their selflessness. They speak especially highly of Defense Minister Dr. Omane Boamah. So every 3 months here at the presidency, there's a quarterly change of guard ceremony. And every 3 months, the Defense Minister usually, is here for that ceremony. Security personnel here are changed every month. Security personnel provide guard duties are changed every 3 months. So every 3 months there's a guard changing ceremony here at the presidency. The last guard changing ceremony was the 44th guard changing ceremony that happened on the 7th of July. And if you check the internet, you still find pictures of Dr. Omane Boamah when he came here to the presidency. Had interactions with the security personnel who were present here. Yesterday, for instance, I spoke to a man who said he had sent him an amount of 3,000 cedis because he had complained of financial difficulties, and he came through for him only for him to hear later in the day that he died in that horrific crash on the 21st of July. Dr. Omane Boamah was here, the defense minister was here at the presidency. He took a stand at the government accountability series. He laid bare his vision for the Ghana Armed Forces. He talked about how he inherited challenges, including a debt of 3.7 million, Ghana cedis, and how they are fixing that, and how they're fixing the President Mahama-led administration is hoping to fix the accommodation deficit of the Ghana Armed Forces and many other things. But now, as it stands, that vision has been shattered together with 7 others in that, horrific crash. We'll be stationed here at the presidency to bring you more. It's a nation in mourning. And at this point, I'll be handing over to my colleague Winston Taki, who is in the studio. We'll be bringing you more on the pause in some minutes.
Government regrets. Right, so some profound golden words there by government officials who went to the wreath-laying ceremony that took place at the Jubilee House around 1 p.m. today. And President Mahama, for the first time, was in public. He couldn't, he shared some tears together with the Chief of Staff, the Vice President, all of them, doing honest to the memory of the 8 individuals that perished in that, helicopter crash in the Ashanti region. We are also live on Joy Prime. Now, let me take you to the residence of Dr. Edward Omane Boamah. Remember, today it's quite busy for government officials. They'll be moving from one location to the other, try to commiserate with the bereaved families. And Jacqueline Angsmayabwa is traveling with them. She spoke to the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, on his memory of the 8 individuals. So we'll bring you that conversation shortly. We'll also be taking you to the Savannah region. We'll take you to Savannah region to also understand the move there, because Alhaji Miniru hailed from that part of the country. Jackie is still there, and she joins us again here on the pause. So, Jackie, what has happened since we left you?
Attention is turned on him. And, when he stands on the floor of Parliament to debate, he was a strong man, very vibrant, and I admired him a lot. And sometimes when you are sitting behind him and he's debating and you want to no, this one, go down. No. That's the way he shakes the head. And then when he sees Jifa and myself, one thing I'll say we have a slogan or something, then he'll say, come on. And, he's a jovial person and he's down to earth. And I'm on the same floor with him in Parliament. We are on the 5th floor. And I remember one day we were talking about his wife, and then he said, I'll bring her to come and greet you. And truly, he brought her to my office, introduced her to me. And so this is the gentleman we are talking about. He's not a pompous type. He's not arrogant. For me, that's the way I know him. And so we have lost a great man of Ghana. We have lost a gem in Parliament. And NDC has lost great people, losing 8 people at a time, losing 5 senior members of the party, losing 2 ministers of state. Words cannot describe how we feel as a people and as a nation. And so to the wife and the family, our deepest condolences. And Honorable Dr. Mutala, wherever you are, I say, come on, why did you go this way? We miss you dearly. Thank you.
That was quite an emotional one. Thank you very much, Honorable. You can still see her still shaking here. But then that is the MP for La Dade Kotopon. So where we are is in her constituency. She came here with her constituency executives to pay respect and also greet the family. Back to you in the studio.
The Responsible Cooperative Mining and Skills Development Program has been launched.
government regrets to announce the demise of the following persons in the tragic crash. Dr. Kofi Omaneboama, Minister for Defense. Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Muhammad, MP, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. Alhaji Muniru Muhammad Lemona, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator and former Minister for Food and Agriculture. Dr. Samuel Sapon, Vice Chairman of the National Democratic Congress. And Mr. Samuel Abuaji, a former parliamentary candidate. Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, Flying Officer Manin Chum Ampedu, and Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensa.
Of course, we are still in a residence of the late Alhaji Murtala Muhammad. The Attorney General and Minister for Justice also visited the home to commiserate with the family, and he provided some words in this interview with Jacqueline.
So, if there was anyone in Parliament that we could count on to speak the truth and to be honest and straightforward, he was one of them. Not only was he God, this is really very difficult. You know, in our politics, integrity is a very rare commodity. Extremely rare. But this young man had it all. He loved this country. He loved the NDC as a political tradition. He spoke true to power, and that is what we need. And Ghana has not only lost a rare commodity in our politics, in the person of the Honorable Murtala, but only someone who is also, at the same time, very patriotic. And for me, it was his commitment to do the right thing that stands out very clearly for me. Anytime he rose on his feet, he took on the system and made sure that he spoke his mind on every aspect. I remember distinctly at caucus meetings, he would storm out because he thought that we're on the wrong path. And many times, I agreed with him. Sometimes we would go back and listen to what he said, and we realized that he was telling us the truth. So for me, it is extremely difficult to think of a situation where I will no longer hear his voice in Parliament. But I'm very sure that he has left, even in this short political career, the Honorable Murtala Mohammed has left an indelible mark. And I'm just hoping that as we go along, we will continue to bear in mind some of the things that he fought for and then continue from there. As I said, he was a rare person in our politics because of the fact that he exuded integrity and honesty in everything that he did. And I'm sure you in the media would bear witnesses to that, because he was always, on air, and definitely not, there were no holds barred in terms of what he had to say, in terms of the expression of his opinion. So I'm sorry that I could not compose myself, but I hope you understand. I hope, in my culture, a man is not supposed to cry, but this is too much.
All right, so.
All right, so the enormity of the situation at hand, even reducing men to this state. And of course, the Employment Minister, Rashid Pepo, was also at the residence and also shared some few thoughts about the gentleman we are celebrating today, the Defense Minister, Dr. Eduardo Mane-Boama, Environment Minister, Murtala Mohammed, also the Deputy National Security Coordinator, Alhaji Muniru, former Ashanti Regional Minister and First Vice Chair of the NDC, Dr. Samuel Sapon, the former NDC parliamentary candidate for the Obuasi East constituency in the last election, Abuajeb, and then the 3 serving military officers who were also on board this particular aircraft. And of course, I will take you back to the home of Murtala Mohammed, because some government officials, they've been paying their tributes, they've been commiserating with the family, and to encourage them in this very difficult time of the season. Also, early on this afternoon, the president also held a wreath-laying ceremony at Jubilee. We'll bring you a sense of that. But let me just listen to the Employment Minister, Alhaji Rashid Pepo.
Develop their own program for the oncoming year, and to have pep talks with them. It was a great occasion, and he spoke so well, and I was so impressed. And when I got up to speak, I said, after he spoke, I thought that it would have ended it all, because he is a great soul. He is a man who is a friend to everybody. He speaks his truth. He doesn't mince words about what he believes in. He's committed to what he believes in. And as a member of our party, he showed that he could criticize at both ends when things are not right. And I first met him when I was a minister for youth and sports. And he came forward, applied for a job, and I gave him the job. And since then, we became good friends until we both entered Parliament, at different times. So I got to know him for his truth talk and his dire desire to see things move well in Ghana. He believes in democracy, but he believes that he's a social democrat, and he calls himself comrade, and that's what he wants to be referred to. He wanted to be referred to. And I was so impressed with him when he told me, Honorable, I'm following you. You have become a PhD. I will also become a PhD. And he got it this year. So I just pray for him. It's a very terrible moment for Ghana. It is the worst moment we have experienced in peacetime in Ghana, when he and Dr. Mane-Boama died together in a very terrifying condition, and the rest of them who also died. We pray for them, and we hope that such a thing will not happen in Ghana anymore, by the grace of our Almighty God. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. So now let me bring in some tributes that are pouring in from identifiable groups. Let's start with the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners. They say they are extending their deepest condolences to the government, the NDC party, and the bereaved families of the 8 officials and military personnel who tragically lost their lives in the helicopter crash at Bofeyedu in the Adansia Kofom district of the Ashanti region on Wednesday, August 6, 2025. The statement says the association is deeply saddened by this tragic incident. Our hearts goes out to the families, friends, and colleagues of the deceased. They pray that the souls of the departed rest in peace, and the bereaved families find strength to navigate this rather unfortunate and difficult time. The association stands in solidarity with the government of Ghana, the NDC, and the Ghana Armed Forces during this period of mourning. May the memories of the departed officials and military personnel be cherished and honored. And there are more tributes that I'll share with you. In cause there's one coming from the Chamber of Mines. There's also some coming from the Ghana Journalists Association. There's the Independent Broadcasters Association. There's also from political leaders, Ghana Champon, who is bidding to lead the MPP in the next election. There's a Chamber of Mines statement. Let me bring that to you shortly, and then we'll go for a short break. On behalf of our president and members of the mining industry, the Chamber extends heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families, government of Ghana, and the people of Ghana. And the statement says that the untimely demise represents a significant loss to Ghana. Each one of them was a committed public servant who made invaluable contributions to national development, paying the ultimate price in line of duty. And as we mourn their passing, the Ghana Chamber of Mines stands in solidarity with the bereaved families and the government of Ghana. And the Chamber remains committed to honoring their legacy by continuing the shared mission to protect the environment and enhance the security of the mining communities. May the ultimate sacrifice of these 8 gallant Ghanaians lead to an end to illegal and irresponsible mining. May their souls rest in perfect peace. And this is from the Ghana Chamber of Mines. So let me take you to the Ashanti regional capital now, because the region is also mourning Dr. Samuel Sapon, who was the vice chair of the party. But before that, he had very important positions in the Ashanti region. First, as the zonal officer for the Ashanti and the Bono region during the times of the serious fraud office, now Yoko became Kumasi Mayor and Ashanti regional minister. Ohamin Teria is on this beat and he joins me. Ohamin, what is happening in the home of Dr. Sapon?
Thank you, Elton. Today was the day set aside for the family of Dr. Samuel Sapon to be officially informed of the demise of Dr. Samuel Sapon, who was on a visit with some government officials to Obuasi as part of government's efforts to clamp down on illegal mining in Ghana. The Ashanti Regional Minister, Dr. Frank Amwakohene, was accompanied by members of the Regional Security Council to bring the news to the family at Dr. Sapon's Paraku Estate home, where family members, sympathizers of political parties from both Divide, MPP, and almost all the political parties were there. Neighbors alike were also there to commiserate with the family. Dr. Amwakohene did indicate that President Mahama has given his word, every assurance to the family that whatever it takes to make the family strong, ahead of the funeral of the late Dr. Samuel Sapon, the presidency will do that, and also assured the families of the president's shoulder for them to lean on and also mourn the late Dr. Samuel Sapon. There was also a delegation from the NPP. I must say it was led by the former Ashanti Regional Minister, Simon Osei Mensah, who led other former MMDCs to commiserate with the family. Don't forget Dr. Samuel Sapon, between 2009 and 2013, was mayor of Kumasi and also the Ashanti Regional Minister, Simon Osei-Mensah, did indicate that he was happy with the kind of political lineage and the political association that Dr. Samuel Sarpong provided in the region. According to him, if you are not careful, you wouldn't even know that Dr. Samuel Sarpong was an NDC member, because he opened his arms to all political parties in the region and prayed that Ghanaians do not politicize the death of the 8 persons who died in the helicopter crash. He says that this is the time for the country and the nation to come together to mourn. And actions of this nature will go a long way to also drive away persons with integrity into politics in Ghana. And Dr. Amoako-Hene and his team actually left for Obuasi to also inform the family of Samuel Abuaje, the Deputy Director of NADMO, and 2 times parliamentary candidate for Obuasi East, who also lost his life in the tragic helicopter crash.
Samuel Sarpong, many people did not know, was a very good friend of mine. Even when I became the regional minister, whenever there were some issues of public interest, you call me and advise me and encourage me. There wasn't a single place that we met for which Honorable Samuel Sarpong showed differences between us based on political differences. He's such a person who has love for everybody, whether old or young. And the way he did his politics, if you did not know he belonged to the National Democratic Congress, you might think he was somebody who was neutral, did not belong to any political party in this country. So it came to us as a shock.
All right, so just before I let you go, I don't know whether there's any updates on this search team that is already in the forest. And of course, the investigators, as we are told, is led by the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority official that also touched down in the Ashanti region, whether they've started work.
Yes, Ertin, the investigation actually started last night or yesterday, I must say, because among the team that went to the forest, a few minutes after the bodies were picked from the forest or the scene of the crash, was also some military officers whom I was told had the know-how to investigate the crash. So as of yesterday, immediately the bodies were picked, the military cordoned off the scene of the crash and also prevented other people from disturbing the scene because they believe that this will go a long way to affect the integrity of the investigations. And today too, we have been monitoring developments at Adansibo, Fuedu and Sikaman area where the incident occurred. The information we are picking up is that the team has been at the scene trying to pick vital information, and that this is solely an activity meant for the experts. So the military, once again, has taken positions to ensure that the area is protected, to also prevent any intrusion or whatever disturbances that people from outside may want to disturb the scene. Already they have expressed some concerns. When I spoke to sources, the concerns they have expressed is that immediately the crash occurred, people who were not supposed to be shouldn't be allowed to get closer to the scene, got closer, and also disturbed the evidence that might prove so vital to the investigations that they are undertaking. But so I can confirm that indeed the team has been on the ground and has set the ball rolling.
All right, thank you so much, Ohime Tevia. And Ohime is reporting live from the Asante Regional Capital, Kumasi. Now, a few things that we know of today. Now, team of investigators already on the scene, investigating circumstances that led to the crash. And the team is led by officials from the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. There's also ongoing DNA tests to establish the identities of the bodies before final burial can take place. It's unclear how long that will last and when that. It is the reason why the Muslim burial was, cancelled yesterday. Government has also indicated 3 days of mourning. It started today with the Reef Lane program at the gardens of the Jubilee House, and this is ongoing till Friday. The period of national mourning will conclude on Saturday, August 9, 2025, with an evening of reflections and memories. This event will begin according to a statement that is signed by Felix Kwachofoso. Will begin at 5 p.m. at the forecourt of the State House, where all Ghanaians and families will gather to reflect on the legacy and the contributions of the departed. There will be 3 days. These 3 days offers our nation a vital opportunity to collectively, according to government statement, mourn and reflect on the profound loss we have experienced. And the statement is urging all citizens to observe the period of national mourning with dignity and with respect. We'll take a short break here on the program. When we return, we'll deal with other matters before we go. All right, welcome back. Let's deal with some few stories before we go. And already government is taking steps to ensure that there's continuity at the Ministry of Defense and the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology. And there's a government statement as to who is supervising these ministries until a substantive minister is appointed. So President Mahama has asked the Minister for Finance, the Honorable Dr. Keseyel Atufosem, to take on additional responsibility as Defense Minister. The statement again says that President has also asked the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Emmanuel Kofi Amabua, to act as Minister for Environment, Science, Technology until further notice. So this is a statement that came in from the presidency this morning. So the Finance Minister has additional responsibility over Defense, and the Lands Minister has additional responsibility over the Environment Ministry. Now, at the Pope John's Senior High School in Koforidua, where the late Dr. Adrian Omanebuama once schooled, a solemn requiem mass was held in his memory. Students, teachers, and alumni offered prayers as they reflected on his legacy as both a student leader and later a distinguished statesman. Master Kudeko was there for Joy News, and this is his report.
Patriotic leader, and as a leader, I'm also enthused to follow in his footsteps.
Dr. Amano has been great help to the school.
This man has been a very powerful and then patriotic leader, a spirit of giving, and then he has been able to give back to his school after so many years.
Appeals Court Judge and Director of the Ghana School of Law, Perima Nanayao Opon-Kodie, who is also an old student of the school Pujuba, was present at the Requiem Mass. He shared fond memories of Dr. Omanebuama from their days at Pope John Senior High School and reflected on his lasting impact on the school.
From the start, everybody has known him to be someone who is humble and also respectful. He has also lived with these very important qualities till yesterday when we heard this tragic news. I say so because that's about a month ago. We were here for the post-students homecoming and then the speech and prize giving day. And when I met him, and I went close to him, we had a chat. I just told myself, this is a very unique person because he has never changed. He's always been humble. He's always been respectful. And I said, oh, well, and so I have realized that, not many people have these qualities.
The headmaster of Pope John Senior High School, Reverend Father Benjamin Opoku Ohene, who led the Requiem Mass, also paid tribute to the late Dr. Omanebuama.
Thank him, and together in the midst of the old students, express his desire to give back to his alma mater. He has been doing it almost every time. One was in when NDC was in power in the last government, when he was the minister, I think, for communication, he did a lot for the school. And coming back to power and being a minister, he has also desired to do so much for the school. First of all, I want to thank him for the asphalt overlay which he came to construct in the school year, not only in the school, but beginning from St. Joseph Hospital Junction down to the hospital.
So we'll bring you back the wreath laying ceremony that took place at the gardens of the Jubilee House shortly. But then also is another story that a lot of you have been looking forward to, the ultimatum that the communications minister gave multi-choice operators of DSTV, giving them up till the 7th of August to reduce their prices by 30% or will have the license suspended. Now there's a development on this matter, and the National Communications Authority has served Multi-Choice Ghana Limited with a notice of its intention to suspend the company's subscription management service for a satellite television broadcast paid TV direct to home bouquet authorization pursuant to Section 13 of the Electronic Communications Act. The NCA says this regulatory action is subsequent upon the company's pricing model, which is deemed inimical to public interest. And by this notice, Multi-Choice Ghana has 30 days, according to the NCA, within which the company may present its views or provide remedial action and submit a written statement of its objection to the suspension of the authorization. Right, so we'll leave it here for now, but for more stories, log on to our website, myjoyonline.com. Interesting stories there. You can peruse and have a look. There's the government, there may be an update on events surrounding this crash coming up shortly, somewhere after 5 p.m. There's a scheduled news conference at the Jubilee House. We'll bring that to you. My name is Elton Grobe. Whatever you are up to in the hours ahead, I hope it's profitable. Good evening and take care.
Thank you, Mr. President. Next, we'll have Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Thank you, Madam Vice President. Next, we'll have the Chief of Staff of the Republic of Ghana, thank you. We'll now invite the National Chairman of the National Democratic Congress to lay the floor, please. Thank you. Shall we please invite the National Security Coordinator to also lay a wreath? Next, we invite the Chief of Defense Staff to lay a wreath on behalf of the Ghana Armed Forces. On behalf of the Ghana Air Force, I wish to invite the Director General, Human Resource, to do the flower laying. Next, we'll invite the Deputy Minister for Defense to lay the flower. We shall now invite the first Deputy Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana to lay the flower on behalf of the Members of Parliament, please.